Well, hello, Robert Heffernan with EndoTech. Robert Heffernan is on vacation, and so taking the place of Robert Heffernan will be Robert Heffernan on vacation. This is Blockchain Vitals. It's our show talking cryptocurrencies, blockchain assets. Cryptos never sleep, 24/7, 365 days a year. And EndoTech never sleeps either. Although some of us do sleep, the bot is always on and available and working. I am on vacation, but it's important for me to keep in touch. Maybe not as often as when I am at the con, but I wanted to check in because I hadn't been able to get the technology to work. But I wanted to check in and talk about this weekly fractal now that we cover. And I haven't been able to do that, and so I wanted to do that. And so let's bring on let's bring on that weekly edition. Let's do that. I'm going to skip the rounds for this next week and a half as I'm on vacation, and when I check in, we're going to go right to the vitals every day and talk to vitals because that's the important part, right? The price action is more important than any story that's going to come across the wire. Believe me. Forget about the stories and mind the price action. But let's take the vitals. Taking the vitals, I do it every day that I do a segment, and that blockchain vital sheet comes out every day, 365 days a year at EndoTech.io. This week I'm going to spend some time with Litecoin before I say goodbye to the YouTube crowd. And Litecoin showing some strength, man. Holy smokes. Did it catch a bid yesterday? And right now trading 40.49. This segment is being broadcast the 8th of January 2019, and the trade date is for the 9th of January. And I want to talk about, obviously, the daily, and you can see how strong it is. Solidly in up momentum on the daily as that number comes in at 36.32. But for me, more importantly now, third week in a row out of lower momentum on the weekly chart. And dancing above currently that weekly center line at $40.07. All right, $40.07 weekly center line. Third week in a row out of lower momentum on the weekly. And we're getting these weekly bands to start to round. And if we can stay healthy here, or at least stay sideways in these cryptos as one chart looks relatively the same as the next, I'm telling you, if we can get, we don't even need explosive price action. That's what I'm telling you. If we can just hold these levels, trade sideways and higher, sideways to higher over the next week or two through January here, these charts are going to look a lot different. And the potentials now, Litecoin, 40.07 on the weekly, that's the center line, $50.26 weekly up momentum, and $70.62 weekly up momentum collar. And again, for me, very important now, trading the next couple weeks here in January, that we just don't give this action away, this positive action that we've had for the last 3 or 4 weeks here, and regain these lower momentum levels. Now, you know, for me, it's like a physics equation. Momentum begets momentum. And so third week in a row now out of lower momentum in a bunch of these coins. And now some of them chasing their center lines, some of them actually a little healthier than their center lines, and some of them a little worse than their center lines on the weekly. But very important now to keep painting this picture from a bullish standpoint, that we maintain these levels or at least trade a little bit higher and sideways over the next several weeks in order to build this bottom, continue to build the bottom that we have. And I think if we do that, longer term bullish action is going to come out of this, all right? So that's what I'm looking at in Litecoin. Again, on the daily, holding up momentum, very important to stay in this trade. That's 36.32. And if we can hold this week and get a close above 40.07 and on even stronger activity, go test that weekly up momentum level at $50.26. Now that's going to show some real strength in Litecoin. And again, I don't know and I don't care what the fundamental news is that's made Litecoin get the bump here. All right, the news isn't important to me. What's important to me is the price action around the news. And the price action is evolving, all right? Just like the fundamental story is, which is very hard to keep up with, right? There's so many moving parts in all of this. For me, it's much easier just to watch that price action. And believe me, you will never go to the poorhouse if you mind the mow. All right, and so Upmo now and Litecoin at 36.32. As long as we can keep closing above there on the daily, that's positive momentum for me, and I want to stay in trades like that. All right, listen, I'm going to keep this one brief here. We're going to say goodbye to the YouTube crowd and move on to the rest of the sheet. So let us do that.